When you clicked on this video, you may have had a couple of questions. Who are the Veil, and what is this theory? The Veil are supposed darkness manifested in the world of Destiny, and seemingly the final enemy race of the game. For those who have or haven't been following the world of Destiny, these are the supposed enemies who control the pyramid ships in the game. They date back to before Destiny 1 even existed and have been teased since very early on. But we have not seen this enemy in the now 6 years Destiny has existed. Now, I want you to take what I am about to say with a large grain of salt. This video is purely speculation and should be counted as nothing more. If the Veil do not come in Beyond Light, do not be upset. If it does not happen, it does not happen. There are many reasons why it shouldn't, but in my eyes, just as many reasons why this can happen. Just as many reasons to justify the Veil coming to Destiny 2 in Beyond Light. So, let me tell you why I think the Veil are coming this fall to Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Some footage in this video is from players around the community. Their links will be in the description of this video as well as the music too. Also, subscribe to EvanF1997 if you know what's good for you, with the bell turned on. Devram demands this.
My theory of why the Veil would be coming to Destiny started all the way back in the game's cinematics in year 1 of Destiny 2, where a cutscene took place in which we see Hawthorne's bird flying into water, revealing pyramids. The next piece of evidence is after the closing credits of the game's campaign, where we are given another cutscene showing us they are officially coming to the game. So, the first question you're probably asking is, who are the Veil? And let me just say it again for you real quick if you missed the intro. The Veil are pure darkness enemies. They're darkness manifested and in direct opposition to the Traveler being the light. We have not seen an enemy type directly of them yet, but what we have seen is early concept art from before the game released back in 2014. This picture strikes a harsh similarity to an almost hive-like green. More of an alien movie type of green, but, you know. You will notice a couple of details if we zoom in close. The statue of this Reaper type of woman, which can be found in the final mission of Shadowkeep inside of the pyramid, and in the newest raid, Garden of Salvation at the very end, after, well, a pyramid gets revealed. You will also notice with this picture that the picture is inside of a giant pyramid the whole time. We can also see this early concept drawing of pyramids surrounding what looks to be a nightmare from Shadowkeep. Other hints to the Veil in the time after the Red War in 2017 were in 2018 with the Queen Mara Sov in Forsaken leaving her throne room with a hologram of a pyramid on the table. Zero Hour also featured a pyramid, and Season of the Drifter as a whole had some pyramids featured and some lore teasers in the Xur bounty missions with the Nine. Obviously, Shadowkeep is the biggest indicator though, with the pyramid creating nightmares of our past into the current game. But what I want to stress is that these so far are just references and teasers. Teasers for 3 years that I believe culminate this fall. I said that I have supporting evidence, and that is true to an extent. I don't have a physical picture, I don't have a brand new leak, and I don't want to lie to you. I want to do what I've always done. Be as honest as possible with some opinion and speculation thrown in there. So, let's go further than just in-game teasers. Let's look at lore. In The Taken King, Cade sketches an image of what looks to be darkness creatures in his Treasure Island lore book. One looking like a brute type and the other looking ghostly. Cade can't recount where he was, but his experience goes like this. There's no bounty, no hive. I'm out in plain sight. Sky is torn open and there's nothing, and nobody left in this ruined world but me and the boiling shadow all around. Whatever it is, it hits me before I can level my gun. Doesn't matter. Tendrils of pain crawl over my splayed fingers, my outstretched arms, my shoulders, my neck, my screaming mouth as it consumes. I'm being enveloped. Everything is wrong. Primordial. My systems go sideways, but all my sensors, it wants me to witness this. The world. Its world now. Suffocating in the black poison, I collapse. We all collapse. You wake up in this cold space between circuitry, galaxies, begging for answers. None come. But other voices wait. At your center, safe and untouched, sits the original you. Just a little box tucked at the back of a closet, filled with trinkets and odd notions kept for no obvious reason. You have no idea when you last spoke to this tangle, but that's what you do now. Using a whisper and the lightest touch, being all sorts of cautious because you're afraid of frightening of what's about to speak with you. And then it speaks. And instead of answers, it begins with only questions that matter. Do you want to know what happens next? Realigning. This one ain't mine. It's something else entirely. But it's the most important memory I have. Now, that may sound kind of weird and off topic, but I promise you it all relates. If you have played the Shadowkeep campaign, then you know the darkness talks to you at the end, even replicating you in the final cutscenes. Your ghost even has some weird dialogue that sounds oddly familiar to what Cade is saying in the campaign.
Violence, beauty, truth. These things await inside. There's no turning back now.
It sounds like your ghost is being pulled down by something else. Was it the darkness? I don't know. You tell me. In my eyes, that's the darkness, and that's a direct experience with it. But if you'd like to point out something that the darkness would potentially be on Europa this fall, then the chess piece from Gambit tells the story of the Drifter and his crew out on an icy place, and the lore states that, so there we were, on a cold hunk of ice with no name. Just me and my crew. Everything peachy keen. We discovered some type of alien monolith, a facility left by the inhabitants of that planet long gone by then. But trapped inside was a creature, in a cage of some sort, frozen in ice. An exhibit. Was it some kind of zoo? Still not sure to this day. We should have brought a scientist. All we had were, well, guys who thought they were tough in dark colors. During our long stay on the planet, we found many of those monoliths, each with their own captured creature. Anyway, this thing, the creature, it looked like it shared some kind of common bioenergetics with the Hive, but there were no records then or since that I've ever seen of humanity's encounters with them. And the creature had a property that Hive did not have. It produced a field that repressed light, like a darkness zone, but contained to a gooey, vacuous form with no head.
So no head?
The anti-light fields we had detected from orbit that spread across the planet. It was these things. Our ship's scanners indicated thousands of them were on this planet with us. We were ecstatic. In hindsight, we could have all done with a few less of them. Now, the first thing to note here is that Drifter says this was not Hive and describes monoliths. If you know what a monolith is, it may look familiar to the monolith behind this statue, but it doesn't directly say the statue, so I won't go that far. So, Drifter also describes the icy place as beyond our light and an ancient apocalypse hood. We were looking for something greater than light, because we had seen that light can be the cause of so much strife. Now, I want to say this is great and all, and he literally says beyond light, so that should tell you right off the bat. And Drifter is in the trailers for Beyond Light, and why would Drifter have any significance here unless he has seen the darkness? I mean, Eris is studying the darkness, and Elsie Bray, aka the Exo Stranger, was not forged from light, so there's reasons for them. Drifter could really have something to say about his experience with the darkness and what he encountered. Now, you're probably thinking that it had to be Europa where Drifter went on that voyage, But unfortunately, in the same lore tab, it also describes the place as a planet beyond the system, bristling with an energy that repulsed light. So this may not be the case. But the harsh similarities of an icy planet with darkness do show up in Beyond Light, with the pyramids there showcased in the promotional material. Other pieces of lore include Fragment and Divinity, but those stories don't really put us on Europa with the darkness. The other pieces of evidence I will point to now are in the game itself with Season of Worthy. During this slow season of Destiny, a lot of teasers were made that the darkness was approaching, like the AI Warmind Rasputin showing red dots on pyramids approaching the solar system and growing closer, Zavala showing us how close the pyramids were on a projection, Bungie tweeting out this odd audio clip, and the Season of the Arrivals with the pyramids hanging above us on planets and moons. Season of Arrivals also brought the Dungeon Prophecy, in which we learned the mechanic of balancing light and dark with motes in the game. This was expanded on by the lore creator for the dungeon in the ride-along that Bungie made on Twitch.
Narratively speaking, Season 11 is the Season of Arrivals and the arrival of the darkness in the form of the pyramids, but we don't really know what they are, and our characters don't really know what they are. In the storyline outside of our dungeon, Eris and Drifter are researching the darkness. So Prophecy is kind of a different facet of that research. Ask the Nine a question, what is the darkness? And in response to that question, the Nine, who are kind of these cosmic beings in the Destiny universe, they create the dungeon itself, including the architecture and the mechanics of the encounters, which involve using motes of light and dark to defeat the Taken that we're about to see. I'd caution all the lore nerds out there to remember that everything in Prophecy is kind of told from the Nine's perspective. And are the Nine reliable? Maybe. And that's what the dungeon's about, story-wise.
Bury them in the desert as sort of a representation of something the Nine's trying to tell us.
What are they trying to tell us?
Foreshadowing.
Well, it may or may not be a coincidence that there's now a pyramid ship over every one of these destinations. So make of that what you will.
In the Wasteland section of the game, there is also the 4 destinations which will be vaulted coming in Beyond Light's launch, all buried in sand there. I mean, if I had to venture a guess, I would pose more of a question. What if instead of being vaulted, they were outright destroyed? I mean, it sounds crazy, but why the hell would pyramids float directly above them for nothing but a vaulting to happen? Some sort of in-game story consequence must come of what is happening there. Also, for even more evidence, the Traveler's Chosen exotic quest is literally called the Evacuation Quest, giving me more thoughts that something big and maybe even explosive will happen to these destinations. But we're gonna have to see. I would even go as far as to expect another world event in Destiny similar to the Cabal one that took place in Season of Worthy, but maybe with the pyramids looming over us and something happening. But that's more speculation than anything. Also, I want to point out that in the Evacuation Quest, all of the characters except for Anna Bray and Rasputin's microchip stay on their destination, lending to the idea that these characters may be gone from the game entirely. My next piece of evidence is that there is a pyramid on Europa, and while yes, Eris, the fallen captain who was originally featured in 0 Hour to steal Siva from the tower, is the main antagonist harnessing darkness, where the heck did she get it from? How did she acquire this power? I mean, we found a pyramid on the moon, but couldn't use anything inside because the pyramid was old and empty. But Eris found a way to harness the darkness? Does this mean something is inside of that pyramid that Eris found? Also, Braytech, the company on Europa who created Exos, Rasputin, and Siva, are so far ahead technology-wise, and the birthplace of Exos is on Europa. Now, I know this is tinfoil hatting at its finest, but who's to say Braytech hadn't been dabbling with darkness technology this whole time, and been keeping it secret? Just some food for thought. Now I want to pose more of a marketing and business reason as to why I believe the Veil are coming to Beyond Light as well. Bungie has gone on record and said that Destiny 3 is not happening for a very long time, and to myself and many others, we thought Destiny 3 was going to happen this fall based off of the original Activision Bungie contract in which Activision wanted 3 games in 10 years. But since Bungie split and is basically wiping 70% of the game's current content to make room for more, who's to say that Destiny 3 wouldn't have come out with a new enemy race? I mean, that's how you generate interest in the franchise again. From a marketing standpoint, the trailers look extremely vague, and that's not to reveal too much other than Darkness Stasis powers and not to give some big spoilers away. I also want to ask, why would Bungie have the pyramids over the planets and moons? I don't think an attack like this would have us only fighting the Fallen, but instead fighting another war while the Fallen Civil War, which I won't get into for this video, has been going on in the background this whole time and is going to take place. Some will say that the Fallen Civil War is all Beyond Light will have and to not keep your expectations high. But screw it, this is my video and it's a speculation video and I'm optimistic, man. My final segment of this guest relates to the marketing for Forsaken and the way that DLC played out. Forsaken started off with the death of Cayde 6 in the E3 trailer as a means to sell the game and revive the otherwise awful first year of the game, and fans were sold instantly, but hated that we knew that Cayde was dead before the DLC even came out. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, as somebody that plays the game a lot and has played Shadowkeep all year, I think this game is in desperate need of another Forsaken 2.0, where a destination like the Dreaming City is revealed, but instead of that big moment being spoiled like Cayde's death, or in this case, my theory of the Veil, that big moment is revealed much later into the game. Marketing failure or marketing genius? That I'll leave up to you. These are the Hail Marys I would be accustomed to see Destiny do to revive the game again. I mean, they've done it before, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. Anyways, that is my best guess as to why we will be seeing the Veil this fall. Lore, in-game evidence, narrative common sense, tinfoil hat theory, marketing and business reasons, and lots of hope. I know some people will say we won't get the Veil until Lightfall, which is set to come out 2 years from now, but I think Beyond Light will at the very least give us a taste of a faction of the giant amount of Veil that there could be. Whether it's the full darkness and everything to offer with it, or just a small taste, I think we will see the Veil this fall. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments as well, or on Twitch at EvanF1997, any of my socials, yada yada yada. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace out.